Hey, what's going on, fellow YouTubians out there in the world that is, well, a little crazy right now? Well, the thing about that is that when hasn't the world actually been crazy? So, I guess we all fit right in. Where am I supposed to look? Where's the. Oh, is that the camera? Oh, there it is. All right, well, you guys know me. I'm a little wacky anyway. So, okay, this particular video is about the four corners rule. Now, a lot of people have asked me because they've heard me reference this. What is it? And blah, 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 blah. All right. So I'm going to try to do my best to help you understand it. I'm not saying I'm a master guru or a guru at all on this particular avenue of it. It's just something I picked up along the way from some of the other greats who, obviously know this stuff. So that being said, let's get going. Thank you for checking out the channel. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit that bell, like, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate that. We are at 17,000. We're going to definitely hit 20,000 by the year is out. We might hit 25. So thank each and every one of you guys for sharing this content. So apparently my life's work has not been in vain. I don't have to be just a nerd reading books and knowing about this stuff all by myself, which is not really all by myself, but you know what I mean. So, adjust this camera. So I'm using a new camera. Hopefully this is a lot better and the sound sounds better than the other previous crap emergency one I had to use. So remember, guys, if you see anybody using any of this information inappropriately or using the S word, report them with the report feature up there for harassment, bully, and slander, and whatever else. Let's go. All right. So the four corners rule. Now, when you say four corners, essentially they mean the four corners of your paper, your file. Okay, everything within that file. So there are a number of, if you want to say, rules or things implied by the term the four corners rule. Because, for instance, you've got what is the four corner rules of offense? What does the four corners rule mean in a box? What does four corners of the complaint mean? So that usually it means within the file. Okay, so you're making somebody focus within the file, not stuff that's outside of this. So I guess the best way to kind of look at this is you're saying that focus on the what's here and not what's out there. So let's kind of take a look at. All right. So for this, I typed in four corners rules, and then I typed in, you can type in court, you can type in four corners rule contract law, you can type in just four corners and see what pops up. On Wikipedia, it defines it as law. Okay. It says the four corners rule is a legal doctrine that courts use to determine the meaning of a written instrument, such as a contract, will, or deed, as represented solely by its textual content. So when you imply the four corners rule, or you type something up and says, this will be based on the four corners rule or law of contract, you're basically telling them that essentially outside information, evidence, law, whatever else is null and void, but to follow what is going on or being construed here. Okay, because essentially you're looking at most things as being a private contract or private agreement, which unless something really, really violates a major actual law, it's no different than what they're doing is they're basically holding you to a private agreement. So basically you're making a private agreement within an agreement at times. All right, so let's see what Wikipedia has to further say on that. Oh, okay, my internet is not Wi-Fi connected on my laptop for some reason. If it's going to take forever, we can just do the other section here. Connect. Yes. Why would you not connect? Okay, whatever. All right, so we're just going to move on. All right, so the four corners rule in the contract law, everything you need to know. Okay, so the four corners rule stipulates that if two parties enter into a written agreement, they cannot use oral or implied agreements to contradict the terms. Okay, so also known as the patrol evidence rule, stipulates that if two people enter into a written agreement, they cannot use outside agreements or implied agreements in court to contradict the terms of the written agreement. Okay, this refers to the four corners of the actual document, basically implying that the only legal parts of the contract are within the four corners of the page or online document. If there's evidence that exists outside of these four corners, they cannot be used in court if they directly contradict the terms of the written agreement. Okay. Types of evidence not valid in court due to the four corners rule. Conversations about the signing of the contract, written evidence that is not part of the original contract, comments from the defendant or plaintiff who are in breach of the contract case. Okay, because of the four corners rules, it is vital to include all promises and expectations you have or other party in the original written contract. If you fail to do so and rely on spoken promises or guarantees made outside of the contract, enforcing them may be problematic. Any judge looking at your case will look only at the four corners, not whatever verbal agreements you have. Okay. Now, I know on one of them, I spoke about the four corners rule, meaning anything inside of the box is considered not to be there and only used as. Now, that exact one I have not found in the contract law section, but like I said, there's like 4 or 5 different variations of it. Okay, so if you know which one variant it is, and let me know. Otherwise, this is just a broad term or a broad executive summary, I guess, so if you will, over that there is such a thing as the four corners rule, but there's different sections, I guess, of that very same term, which I didn't even know there was this many. So that's why I'm making the video. So times when outside evidence can be used, okay, to correct a mistake in the original contract, to clear up ambiguous language, to assist the judge or jury in understanding the contract better, to prove that the contract is invalid, to show that the party committed fraud, to name the parties involved in cases of changing names. Okay, so then there's the four corners rule in contract disputes. So even though we say the four corners rule, essentially it's all about the contract or the agreement, but there are a number of different sections to it. Like this is four corners rule for contract disputes, four corners rule for contract law, four corners rule for offense. So there are a number of different subjects here, guys, that, okay, another one, four corners of an instrument, okay. Here, one of the rulings says Wisconsin Supreme Court reaffirms four corners rules for, it's like government or governing something. And then looking at the bottom, four corners rules of civil, four corners rules of criminal, four corners rules of law, four corners rules of games and rules, four corner rules of appeals, four corner rules of common, common law, four corners rules of justice, and four corners rules of court rules. So, like I said, I didn't even know there were that many. So I have no idea which one I was quoting from. So I apologize for that. I will continue to research it and publish these things as I go. Like I said, I just know that some of the old school cats would always tell me that, you know, anything within the four corners is what matters. But when you box something, that the four corners rules apply, that it is not to be considered to be on that particular document. So there you guys go. So after all those things I just named, if you guys want to learn more about them, literally you're going to have to YouTube or Yahoo or Google search four corners rules, either of court, common law, of justice, of civil, of criminal, of law, of games, or of governing, in order to know how to play the game. So sorry I couldn't be more specific on this particular one. Like I said, okay, so even right here, this particular part, the right of the people to be secure in their persons. So this one's under the four corners requirement. Okay. So once again, guys, it's just like law. I could say study the law, but there are hundreds of books and thousands of chapters on the law. So specifying each one, nobody knows it all. So in that case, I am guilty of not knowing it all, just like the rest of you guys. So, but what are they? They're four corners essentially means that there are rules to everything. And if you can find, it's not about knowing all of them, it's about learning some of them and then using any aspects of them to help you in your case, or to prove how somebody committed fraud, or to basically maximize your ability to win. So research, guys. If I find the exact ones that are more so beneficial to us, I will bring them to you guys as always. So in general, just study what you can get your hands on and keep learning. So at least I brought you something new. So the four corners is a real thing, but I did not know there was like 8, 9, or 10 different layers in the four corners jurisdiction. So, all right, that's about it, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Don't forget to hit the bell, like, and subscribe. Support the Badwolf by sharing the videos on whatever media platforms you guys can. Check out blacksite32.com. I will be updating new files and packages and all that kind of stuff on there, getting rid of some of the old and adding some new. And that's about it. I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day.